Today, we are diving into one of the most critical drivers of health behavior, time preferences. Especially, we will look at why humans often make decisions today that our future selves deeply regret tomorrow. We'll cover present bias, hyperbolic discounting, and how these concepts explain everything from smoking to missed cancer screening. A master level briefing class concise theory, empirical links to health behavior. The foundation, intertemporal choices. Most health decisions are intertemporal choices. They involve a trade off between costs and benefits occurring at different times. Think about a workout. The cost, effort, and sweat is now. The benefit, reduce heart diseases, is 30 years from now. Conversely, with an unhealthy snack, the benefit, like taste, is now, but the cost, weight gain, is later. In health economics, we study how we weight these different points in time. Decisions that trade off costs and benefits occurring at different times are known as intemporal choices. Now, we'll move towards the exponential discount rate baseline model. The baseline in classical economics, we use the exponential discounting model. It assumes that we have a constant discount rate represented by delta. If I prefer $100 today over $110 tomorrow, I should logically have the same preference for $100 in a year versus 110 in a year plus 1 day. This model implies time consistency. It's mathematically clean, but as we are about to see, it's not how humans actually behave. Utility at times formula is given. This model implies stable relative preferences across future periods. Choices are time consistent. It has strengths and limitations. The strengths are analytically trackable and widely used in normative policy models, whereas the limitations fail to capture strong near term impatience observed in experiments in real world health behaviors. Let's break through the formula. We have UT, the score, your total happiness score. U, the joy, the actual pleasure you get from an event like eating a slice of pizza or going somewhere out. Then we have delta, the shrink factor, a number less than 1 like zero point 0.9 that represents your patience. The logic right now? That is UT. You get 100% of the joy, no shrinking. Tomorrow, delta UT plus 1. The joy is shrunk. Once, if delta is zero point 0.9, the joy you get from eating a pizza tomorrow is only worth 9 to you today. And lastly, the day after, like delta square, UT plus 2, the joy is shrunk twice, zero point 0.9 by zero point 0.9. The same pizza is now worth only 8.1 today. That's how the utility diminishes. Next, we have time inconsistent preferences, the core theory. Present bias. The problem of dynamic inconsistency. The flaw in exponential model is that humans are dynamically inconsistent. We make grand plans. For the future, I'll start my diet on Monday, but the Monday becomes to, but when the Monday becomes today, our preferences flips. This is called present bias. We plan, like agent commits to a future-oriented choice, for example, exercising tomorrow. Then we present temptation when the future becomes now, short run impulses dominate. And then lastly, the reversal. Agent switches to the short run benefits, creating time inconsistency. Next we have is hyperbolic discounting, beta delta formation. Beta delta model To fix the classical model, economics developed the beta delta model. In this formula, we add a new parameter like beta and delta that represents your long term patience. Beta represents your present bias and extra weight you give to the immediate gratification. If beta is less than 1, you overvalue the present. This creates a sharp drop off in how much you value the future compared to right now. Interpretation: beta captures the extra weight on the current moment, and delta controls patience over longer horizons. Behavioral signature: preference reversals plan to quit smoking next month but fail to quit when the month arrives. Now we will be visualizing the discounting curve. If you look at the curve that is provided in this picture, exponential discounting is a smooth, constant decline. Hyperbolic discounting, however, looks like a steep cliff. The value of the reward crushes the moment it is delayed by even a single day. This cliff is where the most bad health decisions happen. Now we have empirical evidence and health links. Why does this matter for health? Let's look at the data. Study shows a direct correlation between high present bias and poor health outcomes. Smoking and substance abuse. Addicts show significantly higher levels of hyperbolic discounting. They aren't just valuing the future less, they are valuing the immediate hit disproportionality. Second is obesity. When faced with the chocolate cake, the beta parameter takes over, and the long term, like delta, health is ignored in the favor of immediate sugar spike. Immediate taste rewards versus the delayed health cost. Time preference predict diet non adherence. The prevention gap. Present bias also explains why people skip preventive cares. A colonoscopy or a flu shot has an immediate cost like time, discomfort, but a distant benefit. And for a present biased individual, that immediate cost feels massive, while the future benefit of not being sick is discounted so heavily it feels almost worthless. Health capital investments, exercise, sleep, and medication adherence are intertemporal choices shaped by discounting. Now we have a case study, Marshmallow Experiment, Implications for Health. In the late 1960s, psychologist Walter Mischel placed a child in a room, treated like a marshmallow. He gave them a choice: the small reward, like eat the marshmallow right now, and the big reward, if they wait until the researcher returns and get two marshmallows. The findings later in life. When the researchers followed up with these children decades later, they found that those who were able to wait delayed gratification generally had a higher SAT score and better academic performance, better physical health, better stress management and social skills, and lower rates of substance abuse. Stanford's classic experiment, short delay reward versus the large delayed reward. Poor delayed gratification correlates with later life outcomes like academic, behavioral, or some health markers. A landmark study in behavioral physics that explores why some people find it easier to say not now for a better later. And why is that? It links to the health behaviors. Early self controls predicts medication adherence, preventive behavior uptake, and lifestyle choices across the life course. And the interpretive cautions, correlation, pure causation, environment, socioeconomics, and policy shape opportunities for self control and expression of time preferences. So, what this experiment shows? That delayed gratification is a strong predictor of success, but it's not just about being disciplined. It's a mix of a person's natural temperament and whether their environment makes waiting feel safe and worthwhile. Now we have a classroom activity and MCQ of time preference scenarios. MCQ number one: you choose $100 today over $110 in 1 week. What is the best diagnosis? Think you remember from the example we just discussed. So we have the options: exponential discounting, present bias, C, time consistency, and D, all of the above. Now we have MCQ number two. Plan to diet next Monday, but delay when Monday arrives. What is the best explanation for that? Option A, rational choice. Option B, hyperbolic discounting. Option C, stable preferences. Option D, oriented planning. Now we'll move towards the answers of these MCQs. Okay, so number one, the answer is present bias. And why is that? The reason is when you value a reward much more just because it is available right now, you don't remember the future or what will happen in the future. This is what present bias is. And as for our second MCQs, the answer is hyperbolic discounting. The reason: this explains why we are time inconsistent. When Monday is far away, you're rational and want to be healthy. But when Monday actually becomes today, the immediate pain of the diet becomes much more salient than the long term goal, causing you to flip your choice and procrastinate. Now we'll look back at the activity. In a small group, pick a health behavior and propose a commitment device intervention. Like a health behavior, maybe it's an addiction to something, maybe a cigarette, or maybe you eat something, you're addicted to it, and then propose a commitment device intervention, commitment of something, estimate how it mitigates present bias. For example, you put your cigarette money into a locked account. If you pass the nicotine test in 6 months, you get the money. But if you fail, money is gone, donated to the charity you hate, or maybe given to someone you don't really like. So that's how you'll perform the activity: commitment saving account. Now we'll discuss policy implications and interventions. First, we'll look at the design note. Policy effectiveness depends on the heterogeneity in beta and delta cost across populations. Equity considerations make commitment options accessible to lower income groups who often face tighter liquidity constraints and different discounting patterns. Now we'll move towards the policy implications. Number one is commitment device. Binding or costly commitments, deposit contracts, automatic enrollment reduce opportunity for reversal. Secondly, immediate framing. Present benefits or immediate feedback like nudges, text reminders make future gains feel more proximate. And lastly, social and financial incentives. Peer commitments, lotteries, or small frequent rewards can shift behavior despite present bias. Even if you don't want to go, but they are giving lotteries or small gifts and rewards, or maybe the peer pressure, the society, you will feel like you have to go. So that's how social and financial incentives work. Meanwhile, in the commitment devices, you can bind yourself to commitments like a contract or maybe an automatic enrollment in your mobile for the gym. And lastly, the immediate framing, present bias or immediate feedbacks. Like feedbacks will get reminders from your friends or peers to make future gains feel more proximate. Now we'll conclude key messages in this topics were: time preferences shape many health decisions. Present bias produces predictable deviations from exponential model. Next, beta, delta, and hyperbolic discounting offer parsimonious frameworks to model dynamic inconsistency. evidence, experiments, field studies link present bias to obesity, smoking, and preventive care gaps. Lastly, policy tools, commitment devices, framing incentives can reduce the gap between intention and action. That's it.